so I can see what it looks like. Alright, that's it. It's frankincense and myrrh. Men of Israel, we're going to go ahead and stand out of margin. Front knuckle down, which means to face the east. The Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. All right, Makwav got it?
Sir.
All right, repeat after me. Abanaw, Shabbat
Shemayim,
Kodash, Hayah, Shemka, Yahweh, Malakwika, Daba'ah, Ratazaka, Hayah, Ashah, Ba'aratazah, Kawa, Hayah, Bashamayim, Latundanaw, Lakan, Kab, Yuwam, Wasalak Lanaw, Couple Wuff now, Kasaluk now, Couple Wuff you know, Walla Dab your eye now, Bana son of one, Aboard, Bawashah now, Mayan, Ra, Kaya, Laka, Hamalakwa, Waha'ala, Wa'ata Aparath, La'awalamya, Aman.
Lord's Prayer in English. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Yahweh, thy kingdom come, thy will be done. In earth, as it is in heaven. Give us this day, our daily bread. And give us our debts, as we forgive our debtors. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. So be it.
Most High Christ bless Israel in the Hebrew. All Akim Akwav got it?
Sir.
Most High Christ. Repeat after me. Yahweh. Bahashim Yahushua. Barak Lanawa. Wayasha Allah. Wahabayah. Sapori. Barak. Rapah. Magun. The generals. Captains. Officers. Troopers. Students. Sisters. Children. And all Yasha Allah. Bahashim Yahushua. The water of our mind.
Bless Israel in English. Yahweh.
Yahweh.
In the name of Yahweh Shah.
In the name of Yahweh Shah.
Bless us.
Bless us.
And Israel.
And Israel.
And the school.
And the school.
Bless, heal, shield, protect.
Bless, heal, shield, protect.
The generals.
The generals.
The captains.
The captains.
The officers.
Officers.
The troopers.
The troopers.
The students.
The students.
The sisters.
The sisters.
The children.
The children.
And all Yahshua.
And all Yahshua.
In the name of Yahweh Shah.
In the name of Yahweh Shah.
Thank you, so be it.
Thank you, so be it. Sign Christ. Hakash the power in the Hebrew. All Akim Akwav got it?
Count out, sir.
Sign Christ. Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Bahashim Yahweh Shah.
Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah.
Babu Kushah.
Babu Kushah.
The Thunder Nawa.
The Thunder Nawa.
Hakash.
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 Lar Pa'ah.
Lar Pa'ah.
Kal Makalah.
Kal Makalah.
Wakal Matawah.
Wakal Matawah.
Hakash.
Hakash.
Latahar.
Latahar.
Hamatazariah.
Hamatazariah.
Hakash.
Hakash.
Lahakwayim.
Lahakwayim.
Hamathium.
Hamathium.
Hakash.
Hakash.
Al-Rakawah.
Al-Rakawah.
Hatama'ala.
Hatama'ala.
Lagar Shah.
Lagar Shah.
Bahashim Yahweh Shah.
Ba'ashem Yahweh
The
Shah.
water Aman.
The Wad Aman. Hakash the power in English. Yahweh.
Yahweh.
In the name of Yahweh Shah.
In the name of Yahweh Shah.
Please give us the power.
Please give us the power.
The power to heal.
The power to heal.
All manner of sickness.
All manner of sickness.
And all manner of disease.
And all manner of disease.
The power to cleanse the leper.
The power to cleanse the leper.
The power to raise the dead.
The power to raise the
The
dead.
power against unclean spirits.
The power against unclean
To
spirits.
cast them out.
To cast them out.
In the name of Yahweh Shah.
In the name of Yahweh Shah.
Thank you, so be it.
Thank you, so be it. Psalms 121 in the Hebrew. All Akim Akwav got it? All Akim Akwav got it?
Count out, sir.
All right, don't sweat. All right, repeat after me. Asha'ah.
Asha'ah.
Ayanya.
Ayanya.
Al-Haharia.
Al-Haharia.
Ma'ayan.
Ma'ayan.
Yaba'ah.
Yaba'ah.
Azari.
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 Ma'an.
Ma'an.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Asha.
Asha.
Shemayim.
Shemayim.
Wa'aratazah.
Ra'aratazah.
Al-Yatham.
Al-Yatham.
Lamawah.
Lamawah.
Regalka.
Regalka.
Al-Yanawam.
Al-Yanawam.
Shamarka.
Shamarka.
Hana.
Hana.
La'ah.
La'ah.
Yanawam.
Yanawam.
Wala'ah.
Wala'ah.
Yayishun.
Yayishun.
Shawamar.
Shawamar.
Yasha'al.
Yasha'al.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Shamarka.
Shamarka.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Tazarka.
Tazarka.
Al-Yah.
Al-Yah.
Yamyanka.
Yamyanka.
Yawamar.
Yawamar.
Hashemash.
Hashemash.
Lakaka.
Yakaka.
Wayarach.
Wayarach.
Bayayella.
Bayayella.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Yashamarka.
Yashamarka.
Makarah.
Makarah.
Yashamar.
Yashamar.
Atnapashka.
Atnapashka.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Yashamar.
Yashamar.
Taza Afka.
Taza Afka.
Wabu Afka.
Wabu Afka.
Ma'ata.
Ma'ata.
Wa'ai Awalam.
Wa'ai Awalam. Psalms 121 in English, Salaki. I will lift up my eyes.
I will lift up my eyes
unto the hills.
unto the hills.
From whence cometh my help?
From whence cometh my help?
My help cometh from Yahweh.
My help cometh from Yahweh,
which made heaven and earth.
which made heaven and earth.
He will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He that keepeth thee.
He that keepeth thee
will not slumber.
will not slumber.
Behold.
Behold.
He that keepeth Yasha'ala.
He that keepeth Yasha'ala
shall neither slumber nor sleep.
shall neither slumber nor sleep.
Yahweh is thy keeper.
Yahweh is thy keeper.
Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right hand.
Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right hand.
The sun shall not smite thee by day.
The sun shall not smite thee by day,
Nor the moon by night.
nor the moon by night.
Yahweh shall preserve thee.
Yahweh shall preserve thee
From all evil.
from all
He
evil.
shall preserve thy soul.
He shall preserve thy soul.
Yahweh shall preserve thy going out.
Yahweh shall preserve thy going out
And thy coming in.
and thy coming in.
From this time forth.
From this time forth
And even forevermore.
and even forevermore. We got Psalms 83 in the Hebrew. All Akim Akwav got it? Make sure the brother get it.
La'ah, sir. La'ah.
No sweat. Y'all ready?
Count out, sir.
Most High Christ, let's get it. Alahayim.
Alahayim.
Al-Damayalaka.
Al-Damayalaka.
Al-Takaraj.
Al-Takaraj.
Wa'al Tashikwa.
Wa'al Tashakwat.
Al.
Al.
Kaya.
Kaya.
Hana. Autaza Pawanyika.
Autasta Pawanyika.
Amara.
Amara.
Lakawa.
Lakawa.
Wanakakidum.
Wanakakidum.
Magoya.
Magoya.
Wala'a.
Wala'a.
Yazikar.
Yazikar.
Sham Yasha Allah.
Shem Yasha Allah.
Awada.
Awada.
Kaya.
Kaya.
Lawa Atazawa.
Lawatazu.
Laba. Yakatwa. Awyaka.
Awika.
Barya.
Barya.
Yakarathwa. Alahaya.
Alahaya.
Arawan.
Alawan.
Wayashamat.
Wayashamat.
Alahaya.
Alahaya.
Mawa Abu.
Ma'abu.
Wahagariya.
Wahagari.
Gabor.
Gabor.
Wa Amawan.
Wa'amawan.
Amalak.
Wa'amalak.
Palashaf.
Palashaf.
Anya Shabia.
Amishabi.
Tazawar.
Tazawar.
Gam Ashawar.
Gam Ashur.
Lalawa.
Nalawa.
Aimam.
Amam.
Hayawa.
Hayawa.
Zarawa.
Zarawa.
Labanya Lawa.
Labayaliwa.
Salah.
Salah.
Asha.
Asha.
Laham.
Laham.
Kamadyan.
Kamali.
Kasayasara'a.
Kasayasara'a.
Kayabya.
Kayabi.
Banakor.
Barakor.
Kuyashwan.
Kuyashwan.
Nashamadwa.
Nashimawa.
Bayan Dara'a.
Ba'ayan Dara'a.
Hayawa.
Hayawa.
Daman.
Daman.
La'adamu.
La'adam.
Shayatamu.
Shayatamu.
Narayatmawa.
Nariyakmawa.
Ka'ira.
Ka'ara.
Wakaza'abu.
Wakaza'ab.
Wakazabak.
Wakazabak.
Wakatazor.
Wakatazar.
Mana'ad.
Mana'ad.
Kal Nasa Yakamwa.
Kalasi Yakam.
Ashar.
Bashar.
Amara.
Amara.
Naya Rashad.
Naya Rashad.
Lanawa.
Lanawa.
Af.
Ah.
Na'awaf.
Na'awa.
Alahayam.
Alahaya.
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 Shayatamwa.
Shayatamu.
Kagagula.
Kagam.
Kakwash.
Kakwa.
Laponya Rabaka.
Lapaya Rabaka.
Ka'ach.
Ka'ach.
Taba Ira Ya Ira.
Kabi Iri Iri.
Wakalahabu.
Wakalahabu.
Dalahat.
Talahat.
Harayam.
Ariyam.
Kantar Datna.
Kandaradap.
Basa Irika.
Basa Iri.
Wabasa.
Wabasa.
Wapaska.
Wapaska.
Taba Halam.
Tabahalam.
Mala'a.
Mala'a.
Panyaham.
Panyaham.
Kwalawan.
Kwalawan.
Waya Bukwashu.
Waya Bukwashu.
Shimka.
Shimka.
Yahawa.
Yahawa.
Yabashwa.
Yabashwa.
Waya Bahor.
Waya Bahor.
Aya Ay.
Aya Ay.
Waya Kapar.
Waya Kapar.
Waya Abadwa.
Waya Abadwa.
Waya Da'adwa.
Waya the Iowa.
Kaya Atta.
Kaya Ata.
Shimka.
Shimka.
Yahawa.
Yahawa.
Labatka.
Labatka.
Auyawan.
Ayawan.
Alkahal Ratazah.
Al-Qaeda. Psalms 83 in English. Keep not thou silent.
Keep not thy silence.
O Yahweh.
O Yahweh.
Hold not thy peace.
Hold not thy
And
peace.
be not still.
And be not still.
O Yahweh.
O Yahweh.
For lo.
For lo.
Thy enemies make a tumult.
Thy enemies make a tumult.
And they that hate thee.
And they that hate thee.
Have lifted up the head.
Have lifted up the
They
head.
have taken crafty counsel.
They have taken crafty counsel
Against thy people.
against thy people.
They have consulted against thy hidden ones.
They have consulted against thy hidden ones.
They have said.
They have said,
Come.
come,
And let us cut them off.
and let us cut them off
From being a nation.
from being a nation.
That the name of Israel.
That the name of Israel
May be no more in remembrance.
may be no more in remembrance.
For they have consulted together.
For they have consulted together
With one consent.
with one
They
consent.
are confederate against thee.
They are confederate against thee.
The tabernacles of Edom.
The tabernacles of Edom
And the Ishmaelites.
and the Ishmaelites,
Moab.
Moab,
And the Hagarim.
and the Hagarim,
Gabor.
Gabor,
And Ammon.
and Ammon,
And Amalek.
and Amalek,
The Philistines.
the Philistines,
With the inhabitants of Tyre.
with the inhabitants of Tyre.
Ashur also is joined with them.
Ashur also is joined with them.
They have hope in the children of light.
They have hope in the children of Lot.
Salah.
Salah,
Do unto them.
do unto them
As unto the Midianites.
as unto the
As
Midianites,
to Sisera.
as to Sisera,
As to Jabin.
as to Jabin,
At the brook of Kizon.
at the brook of Kizon,
Which perished at Endor.
which perished at Endor.
They became as dung for the earth.
They became as dung for the earth.
Make their nobles like Oreb.
Make their nobles like a red,
And like Zeb.
and like Z,
And all their princes as Zeba.
and all their princes at Z,
And as Zalmunna.
and as Zalmunna,
Who said,
who said,
let us take to ourselves
let us take to
the
ourselves
houses of Yahweh in possession.
the houses of Yahweh in possession.
O Yahweh.
O Yahweh,
Make them like a wheel.
make them like a wheel,
As the stubble before the wind.
as the stubble before the wind,
As the fire burneth a wood.
as the fire burneth for wood,
As the flame setteth the mountains on fire.
as the flame setteth the mountains on
So
fire.
persecute them
So persecute them
with thy tempest.
with thy tempest,
And make them afraid
and make them
with
afraid
thy storm.
with thy storm.
Fill their faces with shame.
Fill their faces with shame,
That they may seek thy name.
that they may seek thy name.
O Yahweh.
O Yahweh,
Let them be confounded
let them be confounded
and troubled
and troubled
forever.
forever.
to shame.
Let them be put to shame.
And perish.
And perish.
That men may know.
That men may know.
That thou.
Thou.
Whose name alone.
Whose name alone.
Is Yahweh.
Is Yahweh.
Or the Most High over all the earth.
Or the Most High over all the earth. All right. Sorry.
Class on the wrong page.
Shabby, it was mean to be serious. We'll go ahead and be starting from Genesis, the 5th chapter. Chapter 5 and verse 21 in the Hebrew. Salakia, chapter 5 and verse 15 in the Hebrew. Wayaka. Maha'ol. Kamash. Shanyam. Washa Shayam. Shanya. Wayalad. Ath. Yerad. Verse 16. Wayaka. Maha'ol. Akraya. Hawa'ol. Yalad. Yaladwa. Ath. Yerad. Shal Shayam. Shanya. Washamna. Mawa'ath. Shanya. Wayalad. Bunyam. Wabun wa'ath. Verse 17. Wayahawa. Cam. Yamya. Ma'al la'al. Kamash. Walshayam. Shana. Washamana. Mawa'ath. Shana. Wayamath. Verse 18. Wayaka. Wayarad. Shathayim. Washayim. Shana. Wamath. Shana. Wayawalad. Ath. Kanwa'ak. Verse 19. Wayaka. Wayarad. Akara. Hawa all Yadwa. Ath. Kanwa'ak. Shamna. Mawa'ath. Shana. Wayawalad. Bunyam Salakia. Wabun Wath. Verse 20. Wayahawa. Kal. Yum. Yarad. Shathayim. Washayim. Shana. Wathshai. Mawa'ath. Shana. Wayamath. Verse 21. Wayaka. Kanwa'ak. Kamash. Washayim. Shana. Wayawalad. Ath. Math wash Mash Math wash lock. And that's up to verse 22 in the Hebrew. So we're going to get it in the English. We're in the book of Genesis, chapter 5, and verse 15 in the English. And Mahil lived 65 years and begat Jared. Verse 16. And Mahil lived after he begat Jared 830 years and begat sons and daughters.
All right, this is at the beginning of the chapter. If anybody was here last week, this is talking about the generations of Adam. And this is important. Like this, how you know the Bible ain't some fairy tale. It breaks down the genealogy of Adam all the way down till we get to Christ. And even beyond that, basically. So it's telling you the genealogy of Adam, which in the New Testament, Christ, Matthew and Luke go all the way back and tell you where Christ came from, which Christ's bloodline run all the way back to Adam. All right, keep going. And this is before the Lord divided the years that a person would live. This guy lived how many years?
895 years.
895 years. And you wonder why the Lord flooded the earth. You got somebody that was a damn sinner for 800 years. Not him, but certain people was living long just like him. A lot of people. Imagine if the Lord and somebody sinning for 1,000 years damn near on you. Christ learned to be perfect in 30 years, 33 years. You see that? Go ahead.
And he died. Verse 18. And Jared lived 162 years, and he begat Enoch. Verse 19. And Jared lived after he begot Enoch 800 years, and begot sons and daughters. Verse 20. And all the days of Jared were 900 and 62 years.
You see that this brother lived in this. I remember going back in the Bible and looking at the ages of. I'm wondering who the highest age, and I think I seen Adam. I think I remember Adam being like 960, but I didn't even look at this guy's age. He 962. That is when he lived. Go ahead.
And he died. Verse 21. And Enoch lived 65 years and begat Methuselah.
He had he lived 65 years, man, and finally had a kid. Go ahead.
All right, we got Genesis chapter 5 and verse 22 in the Hebrew. Wayath Salak Kanawak Af Ha'or Ya'am Akaria Ha'or Yad Slakia Ha'or Yadwa Af Math Washalak Shalash Mawa'ath Shana Wayawalad Bunyam Wabanawath. Verse 23. Wayahawa Kal Yamya Kanawak Kamash Wash Shayam Shana Washalash Mawa'ath Mana. Verse 24. Wayath Alak Kanawak Ath Ha'oyam Wala Wa'an Nawa Salaki Wa'an Nawa Kaya Laquak Athwa Alayam. Verse 25. Wayaka Math Washalak Shabai Washamanyam Shana Wamath Shana Wayashalad Af Lamak. Verse 26. Wayaka Mat Washor. Mat Washalak Akaria Hayawalad one Af Lamak Shathyam Washam Wanyam Shana Washbad Mawa'ath Shana Wayawalad Bunyam Waban Wa'ath. Verse 27. Wayahawa, Ka, Yumya, Madwashalak, Tashai, Washa Shayam, Shana, Wafshai, Mawa'ath, Shana, Wayamath. Verse 28. Waya Kaya Lamak Shatwayam Washamanyam Shana Wamath Shana Wayawalad Bun, and that's up to verse 29 in the Hebrew. We're in the book of Genesis chapter 5 and verse 22 in the English. And Enoch walked with God after he begot Methuselah 300 years.
Enoch followed the Lord. He was following the Lord, man. He walked with him. All right, go ahead.
And begat sons and daughters. Verse 23. And all the days of Enoch were 365 years. Verse 24. And Enoch walked with God, and he was not, for God took him.
Now, I want to know what the word "not" means. You remember what that is? All right, we got to look that. I'm trying to look it up in the Hebrew. But we'll get to that part. We want to know what that is. We'll get to that part. We'll bring it out next week or later on today in this class. I just got to find it real quick. Go ahead.
Verse 25. And Methuselah lived 187 years and begat Lamech. Verse 26. And Methuselah lived after he begat Lamech 782 years and begat sons and daughters. Verse 27. And all the days of Methuselah were 969 years, and he died. Verse 28.
And let me tell y'all something. This is a lot of this bringing the genealogy out, and this is where people stop reading the Bible. I know, because I did it before. I started reading the Bible. It sounded good until it started talking about all these names. And then eventually you start thinking these names don't mean nothing, and you get tired of saying names that you can't pronounce, and you just stop reading the Bible. The average person that tried to read the Bible in their life, stop right here where it talk about this genealogy. 90% of the people. All right, go ahead.
And Lamech lived 182 years, and he begat a son.
It's important. This is important that it's telling you about the genealogy, because these names of these brothers is the sons of the Most High. These is not just names. They is bringing you to the genealogy and the time period. It's telling you he lived 182 years. 100 and what? He lived 182 years before he had a daughter and a son. And when you add all them years up, you get a certain time period or whatever, you know. Even in the New Testament, where it's talking about Christ telling those people to give their coin, give that coin to Tiberius Caesar, render to him Caesar what is Caesar's. It's a time period on that. All of this stuff is important when you get to learning the Bible. Go ahead.
And that's it on that.
All right.
up to you on this point.
This your department.
What I will do is keep on.
Go ahead.
We're in the book of Genesis chapter 5 and verse 29 in the Hebrew. Wayakara, Ath, Shamwa, Nak, Lama'ar, Zaha, Zun, Kamanwa, Ma Mashanwa, Matazab Wa'an, Yadyanwa, Man, Hadama, Hashar, Ha'ar, Ra'ah, Yahweh. Verse 30. Wayaka, Lamuk, Akaria. Ha'ar, Ya'adwa, Ath, Nak, Kamwash. It's like a Kamash. Wa'ath, Shamayam, Shana, Wakmash, Ma'ath, Shana, Wayalad, Bunya'am, Wabunwath. Verse 31. Wayahawa, Cal, Maya, Lamech, Shabai, Washab, it's like a wash bayam, Shana, Washabai, Mawa'ath, Mana, Wayamath, verse 32, Wayahawa, Nak, Genesis chapter 6, verse 1. Wayahawa, Kaya, Hakal, Hadam, Larab, Al, Panya, Hadma'ah, Wabunwath. It's like a Wabanath. Yeladwa, Lakam, verse 2. Wayara, Bunya, Ha'ar Ya'am, Ath, Bunwa'ath, Hadam, Kaya, Tabath, Hanya, Wayakwaka, Laham, Nashayam, Makar, Ashar, Bakra'ah, verse 3. Wayamar, Yahweh, La'ah, Lad Wa'an, Slakia, Yad Wa'an, Arayah, Badam, La'oyim, Bashagam, Hawa'ah, Bashar, Wahaya, Yam Yamwa, Mawa'ah, Wa'ashariam, Shana. And that's up to verse 4 in the Hebrew. In the book of Genesis chapter 5 and verse 29 in the English. And he called his name Noah, and saying, this same shall comfort us concerning our work and toil of our hands, because of the ground which the Lord hath cursed.
This same shall comfort us and comfort us concerning our work and toil of our hands, because the ground, because which the because of the ground which the Lord hath cursed. He gonna comfort us. The Lord cursed the ground, made it hard for everybody to grow. But this man is gonna comfort us. He gonna make it a little bit more easier for us to do what we gotta do. Go ahead.
Verse 30. And Lamech lived and begat Noah 595 years, and begat sons and daughters. Verse 31. And all the days of Lamech were 777 years.
He lived 777 years. Go ahead.
And he died. Verse 32. And Noah was 500 years old. And Noah begat Shem, Ham, and Japheth.
Noah begat Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Go ahead.
Verse, when the book of Genesis chapter 6 and verse 1. And it came to pass, when men began to multiply on the face of the earth, and daughters were born of them. Verse 2.
Men came to multiply the earth, and daughters was born of them. I want to get a breakdown on that. I think it's something deeper, or it could just be simple. You got it?
Yeah,
What is?
Basically,
I'm thinking it's talking about the. I'm gonna guess before you say it. I'm thinking it's talking about the sons of God, right?
No, not in this part, sir.
Go ahead.
Right here is explaining the daughters that was born of men. All right, so like in Genesis, we got a phrase that the Lord's people. Then you got, you know what I'm saying, sons and daughters of men. You know what I mean? So you got the sons of God, which is, God's chosen people. You know, the 12 tribes are called the sons of God. You see what I'm saying? Out of Shem are the sons of God. You see what I mean? So therefore, right here it's saying, and it came to pass when men began to multiply the face of the earth, and daughters were born unto them. Meaning it was just, men like heathens.
Like heathens, basically, yeah. I see it. You can see what it's talking about in the next verse. Go ahead.
Verse 2. That the sons of God saw the daughters of men.
So this is what happened. The men, and most of the time in the Bible when it says men, it's talking about some heathen or some heathen way. Like when they say we ought to obey God rather than men. These just men. They just heathens. We ought to obey God rather than some heathen or some person that don't know how to live life. It ain't talking about not listening to a man at all, because what is you reading the book of John for?
God.
That's what people get confused. You get to trying to tell a Christian something and they say, I ain't listening to you. So in men in this context and that context, it's talking about a heathen or somebody that ain't following the Lord. These is just men. And the sons of God saw the daughters of men. They looking at them like, whoa. Go ahead.
Like y'all one, if I may. Are they saying like the children of the 12, the men of the 12 tribes were taking on?
No, the 12 tribes ain't born yet. It don't say the 12 tribes. These is just Noah's, and this Adam's and Noah's generation. Adam generation. Then you got Noah, which is his great grandson. And then you got his sons right here. Go ahead. Finish reading that second one.
Kind of, if I could, sir.
Yeah.
The sons of God are Adam's generation. Like that whole generation that we went down and was explaining Adam's lineage. Those would be considered the sons of God at this point, right here. You see what I'm saying? Go ahead.
So, like, if I may, so this was going on in my head. I'm thinking Adam and Eve in the garden, and the serpent spoke with. So the white man spoke with Eve, right? And I'm trying to put together is that this part right here is that are these other nations, these men, not the sons of God, but these men. So these daughters.
Who is the sons of God? I just said it before he just said it.
Adam's descendants.
Yeah, that's who the sons of God is, and who was there before Adam?
Sons of men.
Men, just regular people. Adam, when God said, let us create man in our image, so he created man and male and female and told them to be fruitful and multiply. It was already regular people running around eating anything they could find. They didn't know nothing. They was like babies. They was eating poop and everything. Fish that they wasn't supposed to eat and all of that. Disgusting type of people. And you know they was disgusting because look what the serpent did. Go over there talking to somebody's wife. So these men became great and start multiplying. And they start having daughters. Go ahead. Finish that second one. How many you got to go on this one?
I got two more verses.
All right, go ahead.
That the sons of God saw the daughters of men, that they were fair.
They started looking at these women like they was beautiful. And that what happened with black people a lot. You start seeing something that you ain't seen before, and all of a sudden you fascinated.
What kind, sir?
You know, like the caveman probably seen fire and was like, oh, and burned the hell out of himself. Because he never seen fire. Go ahead. Yep, go ahead.
They took them wives of all which they chose.
They seen these women, it was, and burned themselves messing with them women.
Fire.
Disgusting. Go ahead.
Verse 3. And the Lord said, my spirit shall not always strive with man.
The Lord said, my spirit shall not always strive with man, meaning I'm not going to be as merciful as I am right now. In a minute, I'm about to start letting down wrath on y'all if y'all don't do what I say. That's what basically is what he's saying. In a minute, I'm about to put some punishments out there. Because the sons of God was messing with the daughters of men. When they should have been messing with the daughters of God. All right, go ahead.
For that he also is flesh, yet his days shall be 120 years.
So he started limiting their days. Go ahead.
That's it on that.
Oh, that was it?
Yeah. Close it out.
Yeah, so, and this is another thing about that scripture when he said, my spirit is not always going to strive with men. This is the main breakdown point you want to get on it. He's saying that my spirit ain't always going to strive with you. I'm not always going to be tolerant of this type of behavior. The Lord can't stand somebody sinning on him for too long, especially not no 800 years and no 900 years. Let me limit your life so you ain't doing this all your life on me. You see what I'm saying? 800 years? And you sinning and running around, now you messing with these women? That's exactly why he put them, limited their lifespan. All right, we're going to go ahead and close it up. We're going to get into the next 7 to 14 verses next week. We're going to close this class down.
Bnei Israel, like Majim Shabbat, ay Majim, Barak, Yahweh Hashem Yahushua Barakatah. Son, we'll give a courtesy salute to the sisters. Majim Shabbat, ay Majim, Barak,
Yahweh Shamar Alatah Ba'Hashem Yahushua.
Yajmatah, dismissed.
So I guess my question